Hello, I'm Milan. I've been a driving instructor for 26 years, and for the last 22 years I've been training people to become driving instructors. I've also co-produced and written training material that's used by driving instructors and learners across the UK. So this video is part 2 of Parallel Park, focusing on faults and fixes. If you want to know how to parallel park, look at part 1. So the faults could be related to the angle of the vehicle. So if you've gone too far and swung beyond your 45-degree angle, it's going to have an effect on the rest of the maneuver. So the way we fix that is we check for people and traffic, make sure it's clear, go forward, so put it into first gear, go forward and fix the angle back to 45 degrees. So another fault that could occur is related to the distance. So if you're on your 45-degree angle and you've reversed back too far, it could look like your back wheel is going to hit the curb. So you'd need to stop, make sure it's safe, so check again for people in traffic in all directions, move forward and fix that distance back to the half meter. So now we're talking about faults related to parking, the final phase of the exercise. So we could end up being too wide from the curb. Now the way we fix that is to check for people and traffic, move forward slowly towards the object vehicle, again putting it into reverse, checking for people and traffic, doing one whole turn to the left, and that's going to bring the back of the car in close to the curb. So we're moving very slowly, steering very quickly. Once the back of the vehicle comes in closer to the curb, we're going to do 2 whole turns to the right, which will straighten the vehicle and bring the front of the vehicle in. And once the front of the vehicle comes in and the car's parallel and closer to the curb, we do 1 quick turn to the left, 1 whole turn to the left to straighten the front wheels again. So throughout all of that fix, we're keeping the vehicle slow and checking around for people and traffic throughout. So I've got the 2 vehicles level at the end. I'm going to make sure it's clear in all directions, especially this driveway here. I'm going to do 1 whole turn to the left, but maybe for some reason I went a bit too quick or I got distracted by another road user. I've gone too far and my angle has gone beyond 45 degrees. I've realized, so what I can do is I can put that into first gear or into D, make sure it's clear, check for people and traffic, go forwards and fix my 45-degree angle. Now I go back into reverse gear, I check for people and traffic, I reverse back to get my half meter, but maybe again I got distracted by another road user or I got a bit nervous and I've realized I've gone further than the half meter. So I pause again, check for people and traffic, put it into first gear or back into drive, go forwards in a straight line and fix my half meter distance. Once I fix that, I go back into reverse, check for people and traffic in all directions, and I can now park the car. But as I'm parking, maybe it looks like the back wheel is going to hit the curb. I can't go back anymore. So what I'm going to do again, put it into first gear or drive, check for people and traffic, go forwards and park, and then straighten the front wheels. What I'll then do to finish it and give me space to drive away is again check for people and traffic in all directions, reverse back about half a car length or so to give me some space to exit when I've finished the exercise. Okay, so I'm on the angle phase of the exercise and for some reason I've got distracted, I've got a bit nervous and I've steered away from the curb too early, so I haven't quite got my half meter distance, and as I park I realize I've ended up wide, so I'm more than half a meter away from the curb. So the way I fix this is I make the car safe, put it into first gear or drive, make sure it's safe, I'm checking for people and traffic, I'm moving forward in a straight line, I'm not steering left. If I steer left I could curb my front wheel onto the pavement here. So I'm going forwards in a straight line, so I've got more space at the back behind me. So I go back into reverse gear and using the 1-2-1 technique, 1 whole turn to the left, 2 whole turns to the right, and another whole turn to the left to straighten the wheel. So checking for people and traffic, there's 1 quick turn, whole turn to the left,
The back of the car is now coming in towards the curb. Once the back is in, I do 2 whole turns to the right, nice and quick. So the front of the car is now coming in. And as the car gets parallel to the curb, I do 1 whole turn to the left to make the front wheels straight. And I'm still within my 2 car lengths, which is allowed for the driving test. So that's the end of today's video. So just a quick recap. As you saw throughout the video, I was keeping the car really slow, about 1 mile an hour. I was steering really quickly. I was checking around, ahead, behind and my sides for people and traffic.